Welcome back to the weekend wrap. No production, just my thoughts. As always, please like and subscribe, share with a friend, a colleague, a relative, an associate, an enemy, any and all in between. It is appreciated. Now, apologies, didn't go out yesterday. I was on some other duties, some other errands, and then by the time I was able to actually record the video, it was too late. So I decided just to wait, do it today since it's bank holiday. Why not? It's going to be very, very quick anyway. Look, we had Angelo Leo versus Tomiki Komida, which took place on Friday. It was Friday night in Japan. It was obviously, I think, or was it Saturday? No, yeah, it was a Friday. Yeah, Friday night over there, and it was in the morning over here. I watched the fight. It was a very fun fight, very interesting fight. I didn't watch it properly to score it because I didn't watch it as it occurred. I actually watched it afterwards. However, when I did watch it, I had actually not known what the result was. So I could have watched it to score, but I was kind of just in and out of doing some other stuff. Obviously, it was on ProBox TV on YouTube. And I predicted that Angelo Leo would get a unanimous decision. I think he actually got a majority. So there was one scorecard that was a draw. Now, while I wasn't watching it properly, I will admit that from what I saw, it very much looked to me like Kamida was winning the fight. But again, I wasn't watching it intently. I wasn't watching every punch that was landed by both guys. It just looked like Kamida was always the one walking forward, putting the pressure on, throwing punches in bunches. But I haven't gone back to sort of rewatch it. That being said, I've got no issue with the result. Like I said, because I didn't watch it all the way through, I can't give a conclusive summary as to how I felt. Now, Terry Harper versus Natalie Zimmerman. I watched this fight. I predicted that Harper would get a KO. I expected her to get the KO. She didn't get the KO. I was not too enthused by that fact. Zimmerman had her hand down low pretty much every time she went to go jab. Every time she went to go throw a shot out, the hand always traveled back very low to be countered over the top. Terry looked very sort of not nervous, but very tense to try and get that knockout. So she kept trying to push into the shot, but by doing that was falling in a lot of the time, cutting her own space, cutting her own distance. And it just looked a little bit like she regressed in her abilities, in her boxing abilities that she had, a bit earlier on in her career, maybe when she was a bit more raw, which sounds completely crazy, but look, ultimately she got the victory, and then I don't remember hearing this, but apparently she called out Caroline Dubois at the end of the fight. Okay. I mean, very bold, Terry. I have almost no doubt that Caroline Dubois wins that fight and wins it quite comfortably. I don't even have to do basis picks on that. I just haven't seen enough of Terry as of late to suggest that she's got what it takes to get that job done. But my opinion may change later on down the line. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what kind of happens there. In terms of the actual, I mean, I heard obviously a few other people very, very down on the fight, saying, look, is this supposed to be what world level is? Uh, you know, it is what it is. But at least you got to headline Doncaster. Maxi Hughes beat Archie Sharp, which I expected him to do as well. Unanimous decision. Somehow, I think Sonny Edwards was in Archie Sharp's corner. Apparently, like, oh, great work, great work. From what I saw in that entire fight, it just looked like Maxi was just on the ascendancy, landing the cleaner punches, landing the more punches on the front foot, whereas Archie was, doing a lot of sort of backpedaling, trying to hit and counter, but it just didn't really see it. It wasn't as enthralling a fight as I expected it to be. Reese Mold lost to Luis Silvestre, which I didn't expect. I did think Reese Mold would win that fight, so salute to him. And James Flint lost to what's his name? Lamouche. I think his name was Lamouche, which obviously throws the Campbell Hatton thing into even further disarray. But yeah, look, it is what it is. Congratulations to them. Moving on to the event at the Hydro at Glasgow, we had Josh Taylor and Ekow Essuman in the main event. Look, talking about the sort of, so you had the Loyes Jr. taking on what's his name, Jameson, and yeah, I think I predicted the stoppage would happen around about the 6th, 7th round, but I think it ended up getting it in the third. Jameson game tough, he tried to come to bring it, but Alois, he's got a very good jab. He's got a good a left hook as well. He's even got a decent left cross when he employs it, and he's just fast. As big and sort of stocky squat as he looks, he's actually very, very quick, explosive, and quite fluid with his shots. He still, he sort of still rushes some of the work, or still at times can be a bit wild. But again, the guy's 22 years old. If this is sort of the levels that he's displaying at the age of 22, yeah, I think he's got some good fundamentals. He can definitely go. I can definitely see him at the top of that British, maybe that European scene. Jury's out as to how much further he can go in the cruiserweight division. He may be able to go all the way. The raw ingredients are there. It's all about how he implements them. But he's doing extremely well in marketing himself, getting his name out there, delivering highlight reel knockouts for the people. Yeah, he's a good talker. I've interviewed him before. He's a good guy overall. Obviously from Penge. So big up South. Shout out to him. I'm trying to think who else was on the card that I want to speak about particularly. Moses Atalmo, took on Mike Balogun. I predicted he'd win in the third round. Moses did one better for me. He won it in the second with a peach of a step back right hook. It was, after dropping Balogun once in the first round off of it was a clubbing shot, but it wasn't actually, if you look at it wasn't actually a punch. He actually hit him with the forearm of the glove. That's what caught him at the side of the head. Like the knuckles, even the fist, everything was around the side of the head, and it was clearly the hard part on the wrist that caught him. But took him down. He managed to get up and survive the rest of the round. Shout out to Mike Balogun. And then he actually went for it. He caught Moses with a couple of shots there. He caught him with a couple of shots in the second round just to say, look, you're not going to have this all your own way. Moses readjusted, and nice, it was a nice sweeping left hook he caught him with to drop him for the first time in the second. And then that step back right counter hook, just a little icing on the cake for the referee to wave it off. Balogun wanted to get up, he wanted to carry on, but the referee waved it off, said no, that's it, that's enough there. But look, Moses Atalmo, I don't need to say much about Moses. You guys already know. Like he is what they say he is. He's still got to take the time with him. Like he needs more seasoning. He needs more rounds. He definitely needs a stiffer set of opposition. But you've got to get that balance right between the perfect learning fight to that fight. There's just too much jeopardy in it right now. But I'm looking forward to it. So. Congratulations to him, moving on up yet again. Then there was also Nathaniel Collins against Lee McGregor. Now, I can't remember what I said on basis picks, but in my predictions league, I said that Nathaniel Collins would win this fight in the 8th round. I believed it would be an 8th round TKO. But I think on basis picks, I said it would go UD. See, sometimes I need to remember what I put in the predictions league as to what I put in the videos. That being said, I did think Nathaniel Collins would win, and he put up a stellar performance. So, yeah, I thought it was definitely for me the performance of the night in terms of who's on the bill, and yeah, I was definitely impressed with what I saw from Nathaniel Collins. I'm looking forward to see how he sort of progresses moving forward. I think he's now got WBO global title or something like that. Now the WBO full champion is Brian Norman Jr. So after, I guess, he faces Jin Sasaki, if that if that Jaron Ennis fight ain't on the way, then I'm assuming that Nathaniel Collins will be calling for his shot, and they'll have no reason but to give it to him. So yeah, look, wait and see what happens there. Now, main event: Josh Taylor versus Ekow Essuman. I predicted Ekow Essuman would win. I just knew, I knew the work rate would be the thing that caused Josh Taylor the problems. Now, I'm not actually sure what took place here, but the fight initially was scheduled as a 10 rounder, and then I think Thursday just gone, it became a 12-round fight, which clearly suited Ekow more than it suited Josh. Josh is definitely at this point, like, he's a front runner. He does well in the first couple rounds, but then after that he's almost chasing, or he's sort of lagging, and sort of just trying to hold on. From what I heard in one of the exchanges, Ekow Essuman said that he didn't feel any of Taylor's power in the first couple rounds, which was where the problem started, because he then decided to get going from round 3, round 4, and he just wouldn't ultimately let up. And every time that Josh might sort of fire 1 or 2 good shots back, but those 1 or 2 good shots are just being drowned out by like 4, 5, 6 punches. 3 of them might be blocked, but the other 3 are getting through. They're scoring, they're touching something, and the activity is just there. So he just outworked Josh Taylor, who is not necessarily big enough, in my opinion, for 147. Even though he's quite tall, his frame doesn't really look like it suits it, all things being equal. So he definitely is a 140-pound guy. Probably just hasn't been living the life and staying disciplined and staying close to the weight. But yeah, look, predictions league on the video, I did predict Ekow Essuman to win the fight. I've just seen enough from Josh Taylor recently to know that whatever he had is not there anymore. Some people, they just have that spark, and they burn out. They burn bright, but then they fade very quickly. He did a lot in that first 18 fights of his career. He became undisputed, the first ever British undisputed champion in the 4-belt era. Can't take that away from him. Also, Capricorn lad, so I give him extra grace for that. But ultimately, yeah, at the top level, at the top flight, he's cooked. He's done. Does he want to try and go off into the sunset for maybe one more last hurrah to see if he still got it? Does he call it a day? Does he decide that, you know what, let me just have some fun fights and make some money? Because if he wants to go down that route, there's plenty of good opposition that he can face. The only problem is they're all going to be a hard night's work. There's not going to be anyone that you realistically say, yeah, he can win this one like comfortably. He's going to have to go through hell to win any fight that they put him in moving forward, unless he builds back the cachet, which he's never really had, because obviously in Scotland, unfortunately, they just don't have that same marquee and sort of brand name association, which is probably the reason why he didn't get all of the proper deals he should have got when he won the the WBSS. And then when he beat Jose Ramirez, he was the away fighter, not promoted by Top Rank, but not really doing much with him, then being fed to other people. It's a bit of a sad state. It's very unfortunate, but look, when your time is up, your time is up. And I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. I think his time's up, and I think it's time for him to either call it a day or just accept that that's your transitional phase. You're the next gatekeeper / high level journeyman. Because Ekow is he's good, he's solid domestic level, maybe fringe European, but he's done nothing ever to prove that he's above that British level. And he decisively outdogged you, outfought you, and outworked you in this fight, which I did predict he would do, to be fair. I said split decision only because I thought, well, it's in Scotland, they're going to try and give something to Josh, but no, unanimous. And the thing is, having watched the fight, it is possible that you could maybe say one of the cards could have been a 114-ish type card, but no, all three of them said this is him. What was it? 116, 113, 116, 112, and 115, 113. I think with the 3 scorecards. No complaints as far as I'm concerned. They were all correct from different angles. So yeah, look, that is that in terms of what he does next. I am going to leave this video here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Also, the casual stream will not be on tomorrow. I have got another commitment that I have to do, so casual stream is going to be moved to Thursday. I'm going to put a something in the community chat just for everyone to kind of see that. But yeah, no casual stream on Tuesday. Wednesday I'm out having to do something else, but yeah, Thursday we'll do casual stream. I'm going to try and also get some more content. I'll see if I can put a video up on Wednesday for you guys as well. And then yeah, back to more basis picks on next weekend. More episodes. We might even do a watch along. Let's see how things play out. But until then, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your bank holiday Monday, and I'll catch you on the next one. But until then, peace.